Good morning and welcome to the last principal's message of term 2. It's certainly been a really busy term, and at this time of the year, of course, we're heading towards providing reports for students and for parents. And today I'm joined by Casey Hawley, who's Learning Leader, Assessment and Reporting. Casey's responsibility is the assessment and reporting process, amongst other things, of course. And I thought what would be really useful today would be to have a conversation about what's in the reports, but most importantly, how we can use the reports as students and parents to help with our children. So Casey, your job is, of course, to look after assessment and reporting. Maybe where we might start is to have a little bit of a look at some of the reports that parents and students will receive in the next little while.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me, Roger.
Yeah.
All right. So with the semester report, there's many elements to look into it. So I'm just going to give you a bit of a rundown about what to look for in the semester report. It's obviously important that you receive a report for each subject, and within each subject, if we kind of start from the top, we're looking at you get the subject description. So the subject description will outline what has actually been involved in the subject for the semester. From below that, we're looking at coursework. So the coursework here is represented in letter grades. Yep. Those letter grades will have been provided through our progressive reporting system as well, so there should be no surprises in regards to coursework.
So the example we're looking at here is for one of our colleagues, Mr. Jason Wood, of course, who's offering up an exemplar report. This particular subject we're looking at is Mr. Hill's subject, product design and technology. So maybe if we have a look at each of those parts in this report. So the first part is the subject descriptor. So that outlines what's in the subject in the semester, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly. So it'll outline what's been the key focuses over the term 1 and 2. And that way it then would lead into the coursework.
So the coursework, they're sort of the accessible items, aren't they, within the subject of that semester? So this one, for example, with product design and technology, the 3 coursework items are
making a product from a design brief, investigation, and then the end of semester examination.
So for each of those assessment items, the student receives a letter grade, don't they?
Yep, they will receive a letter grade from A to E.
So that's sort of the summative assessment. If we then go to attitude and management, what's that about?
So that's really looking at the overall things such as behaviour, their ability to work independently, how cooperative they are in class, motivation levels, and the level of completion of classwork. So across all subjects, they're the 5 things that are looked at for attitude and management.
And so differently here, there's not a letter grade, is there? There's a word that's a description, isn't it? You know, in this case, excellent, very good, words like that.
Yes.
And then if we go down to the shaded section, that's sort of the summary, isn't it, for the subject for the semester. So for product design and technology for semester 1, Mr. Wood receives 3 areas, doesn't he?
Yep, so in this area, they'll get an overall grade, which is automatically calculated based on their 3 pieces of coursework in this instance. They also receive an effort rating. So the effort rating would be a score from 1 to 5.
Obviously, 1's better and 5's not so better, so to speak. And then the subject result is
a satisfactory or a not satisfactory.
And then, of course, really importantly, is the comment that the teacher provides, isn't it? More detailed.
Yeah. So this is an overall summary of how the student has performed in regards to their aptitude and effort within the subject, as well as key highlights for the semester, followed by some strengths that were observed by the teacher, and then some areas to improve or strategies to work on.
Sure. If we have a look at the second page now, this explanatory notes page provides far more detail, doesn't it, about each of those areas. Helps parents and students understand, in a breakdown sense, what the letter grades mean, what the effort ratings come from, and so on like that, don't they? Yeah,
definitely. So if we started with the letter grades, it actually identifies what is an A+, or what is a C, what is a C+, etc. So that will give the parent and the student as well the opportunity to get a greater understanding in regards to their overall.
Sure. And if we then look at the third page that we're going to show you, This is sort of a pastoral report, isn't it? Things that happen in the life for a student outside classroom.
Yes, so as part of the home group, you will receive a pastoral report, which is done by the home group teacher or teachers, and they will receive a high, medium and low in regards to various things from their involvement in home group, how punctual they were, their standard of uniform, etc.
Yep. Now the next page is sort of a summary page, isn't it? It's a one-page at a glance summary of all the subjects that the students do and their overall grade and their effort grade, isn't it? So that's useful, isn't it? Because you can look at that and get an overview of how you as a student or your child has gone.
Yep, you can definitely get a brief snapshot of just their overall performance in regards to a letter grade, and if there's any relationships in regards to effort.
Yeah, certainly. So I hope that explanation has helped you a little bit when you come to the time of spending some time with your students looking at their reports. It's really important, isn't it, Casey, that parents and students sit together and have a conversation about their reports, because how do you see the value of reports for students?
Yep, so I think they're very valuable in regards to gaining that feedback from the staff in regards to a snapshot of how they've performed over the semester. There's key things though I think you can actually take out of the report and take the report further and have conversations with your son or daughter.
Yeah, and I think that's really something that we've been focusing on here, isn't it? Is helping students and families see the report as an opportunity to grow and become a better student, as opposed to, sort of a summative end of semester, here's where you got to at the end of that period of time. It is about a conversation, isn't it?
Definitely. So I think what we're about really is trying to empower every student to be the best that they can be. So, from the report you can look at things like a letter grade, but in actual fact, having conversations with your son and daughter about, so how did you get that B+? What did you do to get the B+? So looking beyond the letter grade to get the students to actually understand how they achieved that result, I think was really important.
I think it's really important to understand that there are two components to our reports. There is that letter grade, which is the summative achievement that a student is awarded at the end of the semester. That's the A or the B or the C. But the other component is the effort grade. Now, with the letter grade, the achievement grade, it's important for students and parents to map how their students are progressing, isn't it?
Yep, definitely.
The students all have different abilities, don't they?
Yep, each student is different, and that's why I think with the things that we're doing within the college in regards to having progressive reporting as well as semester reporting allows us as teachers to create that personalised learning for each and every student.
Yep. And the number grade, of course, is the effort rating. We've worked really hard over the last couple of years to help students understand that it's not just the score you get, the A, the B or the C and so on, but it's also the effort that you put in, because we all know that a student's achievement and success in life is directly related to how hard they work, isn't it?
Definitely.
And so that effort grade, we've been working really hard with students to help them understand that hard work, endeavour, effort, they're really valuable things to help them progress academically.
Yep, definitely. And you'll see from how us as teachers are looking at what effort actually means is represented in the explanatory notes in the report. So we're looking at how engaged is the student. Is the student, seeking for advice from their teachers, from their peers? Are they asking questions? These are all things that represent effort. It's not necessarily, how many % they got on the test.
That's right. Because look, we all know that, and what we want for each of our students is just to do their best, isn't it?
Exactly.
And not every student's going to get an A. Some students might get Bs and might get Cs, and that's okay. But every student can get a 1 for effort, can't they?
Definitely.
Everyone can get a 1. And that's the thing I think that's really important for students and parents to understand, is that maybe not everyone can get an A, because we're all different in terms of our aptitude, but everyone can get a 1. everyone can work hard.
Yep, exactly.
So as we head towards the end of the semester, and these reports will arrive home electronically, of course, I'd really encourage parents to sit with their children and walk their way through their reports, but not to get fixated on an A or a B or a C, but to have conversations with their children around, well, if you got a B, how did you get a B? And if you got a B and you want an A, what do you think you have to do? Because they're the conversations we're having with students at school, isn't it? It's not the A, B, C, it's how did you get that? What do you need to do?
Yeah, definitely. And also as well, to look into the comment that is provided. There's some really valuable information that each and every teacher will provide for each student. So looking at the strategies that they are encouraging for, you know, life beyond semester one, so looking into semester two, the strategies they can improve. So setting themselves some challenges as well for semester two would be good to...
So, you know, if we're looking for language for our parents to maybe use in terms of discussion with their children, it's really more about the how than the what, isn't it?
Exactly.
You know, how did you get this? What do you think you did? How do you think you could improve? Because they're the growth conversations, aren't they? And that's what we would all encourage as teachers for our students and our parents to do, is to focus on the, well, what did I do to get where I got to, and what do I need to do to progress beyond that point? Because that's the growth conversation, isn't it?
No, exactly.
So I hope you've enjoyed having a little bit of a think about reports. I really encourage you to sit with your children and to talk through your reports. Maybe set some goals for next semester, some things that you might aim to do in terms of improving particular areas of your academic life. And I certainly wish all of the members of our community a really happy and restful mid-year break, and we look forward to the return to Term 3. And of course, during Term 3, we'll move into the Mastery Centre, which will be a really exciting time for us as a school. So thanks, Casey.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining me, and thanks very much, and have a wonderful holiday, everyone.